What's up, guys? We are back with another Bandai Tamashii Nations Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts review, and we're taking a look at another. It's very much an ongoing trend for me with Dragon Ball Z stuff this year, is that another figure that I've just been dying to get a hold of, and just at face value probably has potential to be in my top 10. We are taking a look at the new and improved Super Saiyan Trunks. This one is called the Boy from the Future. So we've had Trunks before, we've had this particular body style before, but that was years and years and years ago, and this is an entire redo in the new 3.0 format. Now, we've still got standard Dragon Ball Z style packaging, so you got that big product shot there on the front and your window with the name running down the side, and then you've got product shots that run back from that front panel, and then on the back of the box you get more product shots showcasing how he moves and kind of a run through of all the accessories he comes with as well. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here we go, out of the package, our new SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Trunks, the Boy from the Future. So again, this is a new iteration on this version of Trunks, so if you don't have that old one, there's probably no reason to go back and get him now. This does, bring him up to current standard for Figuarts, so this is like a 3.0 style Trunks, and quite frankly, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing here. He does have a couple issues that we're going to talk about, but overwhelmingly, I really like what we have. So let's see what he can do, see how he moves around. We've got a head that can look up a little bit. He can look down really good. Of course, that neck is going to move as well. You've got your tilt side to side, you've got rotation. Arms out at the shoulders. You do have a butterfly joint in there, which is really nicely hidden by the jacket because the jacket's an overlay. You've got swivel. We've got a bicep swivel here, and this is one of the areas of concern with this guy, and I know folks have experienced this already, where this arm, this one in particular, will want to just sort of pop off at that bicep. So the bicep is an overlay that sits over top of the double joint elbow, so you will probably encounter it. It is an unfortunate problem, can't really excuse it. It's not the biggest thing, but it is an annoyance. You've got double jointed elbows, we've got hinges, it's a ball hinge, and your wrist. So pretty normal stuff there. See, it's just a little sleeve that sits over top of that, and it does not exactly like to be played with all that much. Once you get it positioned, it's going to stay just fine, but at the same time, it also shouldn't happen, right? We've got a torso that can go backwards. He goes forwards really well. There's a good crunch on that. You've got a little bit of tilt, but not much. It's also a swivel point, and you have a little bit of swivel at the waist, but mostly it's just this diaphragm cut. The waist, as you can hear, is kind of clicky. Now, I know that there have been concerns with this particular figure and the legs also. I don't believe, I have no idea at all, but in my experience, this particular figure has no problems with his legs at all. So they go out and they stay. They go out and they stay. Both of them do. I don't have any problems. He's not fallen apart on me or anything. But this is also from, I don't know if this is the right terminology for these or not. This is a US allotment too. Like, this is not one that I imported from Japan. And a lot of that I saw from some of the folks that were getting them from Japan. So maybe it's a difference in production or a different run of some kind. I don't know. But he does have really sturdy legs here. I've not had any problems with any kind of floppiness or anything like that. So he seems okay. You got your thigh swivel up there. Double jointed knees. Pretty decent. He's got baggy pants. And then you've got swivel at the top of the ankle. And then we've got our ball hinges. Ankle hinge isn't that great because of the boot shoe system. You got a little bit of rocker. And we've got toe articulation. But it does bring Trunks, this particular Trunks, up to modern standard, 3.0 stuff. And overall, despite the arm thing, which sucks, I don't like it, and it shouldn't be falling off, it's not really a problem either, because I can just pop it right back on, and it hasn't fallen off unless I've actually been moving it. So move it, if it comes off, put it back on, I guess, and then go about your day. But otherwise, I do think he moves really well, and I'm having a lot of fun posing this guy around. Now, I think visually is where this guy truly excels for me, because while, don't get me wrong, I'm super happy that we have this version of Trunks with all this updated articulation, just to get him again and to be in like the current state of Dragon Ball Figuarts where everything is so much better than it used to be. This being my favorite look for Trunks also, doesn't hurt things. And when we compare him to that first figure, it's just a night and day difference. They're so different. It's weird to think that where Figuarts used to be compared to where they are now. And I'm really happy with the way this guy turned out. Sizing and scaling in particular on this one is really bringing it home for me because that first figure is super tiny. But I really like the colors. The gray, the black, of course his purple. there's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to paint on this guy. He's got a painted belt. You've got some Tampo for the Capsule Corp logo on his shoulder there. The jacket is a separate piece. It's kind of weird, actually. So you can see from the back, it looks kind of janky because the collar and the sleeve part, like I guess the torso part, are separate. And then there's this piece that's actually like, I guess it's glued onto his back or something there. So the collar actually does have these little slots in it that if in the right or wrong angle, depending on how you're talking about it, you can see through it. But it works really well here to hide the joints, and it flows pretty seamlessly between these arms too. So despite how weirdly cut up it is, I think it works pretty well. I know I've also seen folks, you know, take the jacket off and swap arms out with the Superhero Gohan. You have to do some modding, I believe, to make that work. But to give you a sleeveless, jacketless Trunks sounds kind of cool. I might go down that road. I say that, I never will, but I'm really happy with the way he turned out. I really do like the hair. The hair in the face on this one, at least this is how he comes out of the box, because that's how I always show them exactly how they come out of the box first. The hair here is super dynamic. I mean, I like Trunks' Super Saiyan hair in this form in particular, but it's got some nice shading that runs down the part in the hair, so it's slightly darker yellow, you know, leading towards orange, and then you've got his super bright yellow here also. But the face looks really good. The expression, he's very much unhappy. I've seen some folks actually say that this looks more like Goku than Trunks, and in the right light and right angle, I can see that. But this also works really, really well for me. Coloring's really nice. The eyes are clean and crisp, so are the eyebrows. And then here is, you know, for comparison's sake to the first one, here is that original Trunks that came out. At this point, I don't even know how long ago this came out. This is a super, super old figure. I mean, he has what we would consider, I guess, 1.0 style articulation, right? And look how tiny he is. He's so, so small. There was also, at least I believe folks encountered the same problem as I did, where the scabbard had a real issue with breaking off. So mine is actually glued into the back because I broke it twice. And this one has a different system for attaching it. It doesn't actually attach to the figure. So it's more of a separate piece than anything else. But yeah, we have progressed quite a bit from this scrawny and in many ways oddly proportioned figure now that I really look at it to something that looks far more in line with what we've been getting recently and what we are going to expect to see going forward. So in many ways, I think they absolutely killed it with this guy. I'm really, really happy to essentially, you know, take this guy out of rotation and replace him with this. Now, as far as accessories goes, Trunks has a really solid spread. I mean, it's almost everything I would want. We don't get an effect part, so that's, of course, you know, always going to be a negative for me. But we do get the sword. So to start with, that is a really important inclusion here. You know, if it was between one or the other, it needs to be the sword for this version. And like I mentioned previously, one of the changes between the first release and this one is how it connects. So the strap is actually wrapping around his body and connects to the scabbard. There is nothing that actually connects to his body. So you don't have any kind of peg or anything that's going to snap up in his back, like, you know, I mentioned earlier with my other one. We do, of course, get the sword that fits inside the scabbard. And I mean, there's nothing too crazy about this. It's just a silver sword with a black handle, but it looks good. It's got a kind of chunky design too. And this does seem to sit on him pretty nicely, so I'm happy to see that. We get some options as far as hands and faces beyond that. We also get a swapping set of bangs. So instead of having his bangs down and fully relaxed, these are more up. And, you know, if you want to use like one of those screaming heads or anything like that, this hair piece is probably going to be a little bit better. But then we also get 3 additional Super Saiyan faceplates. So you get the standard, but still slightly mad look. You get one where he is gritting his teeth. You get one where he is sort of, you know, annoyed, looking to his right. And then you get one where he is full on screaming, which of course, like I mentioned, would probably work really well with this particular set of bangs. But beyond that, we also get a full head sculpt for regular Trunks. And this looks terrific. I wish we had more to this. There's no faceplates or anything for this because, of course, the colors don't work between Super Saiyan and regular. But this is a really solid head sculpt. I like this quite a bit. And is definitely making me want to have 2 of these just to be able to have both versions at the same time. Now, we also get some hands as well. We get 5 extra sets of hands. So he's got fists on him here in the box. And we get a set, of course, the set is 2. You get a set of, like, you know, charging style hands, blast hands. You get a set of flat palm hands. We get a set of style posy, grappling, you know, posing, posturing kind of hands. And then we get 2 sets of gripping hands. So you get a standard gripping hand, where the hand is just in a normal position. And then you get one where the hand is slightly crooked forward, and they're both for using the sword, but this is more in line with like a slashing motion. So you did get 2 different options based on how you want to pose him out with that sword. So he does come with a really solid spread. I still would love to have seen an effect part, but at the end of the day, you are getting a lot of stuff here. We're getting some really solid faces. They look great, really clean, really crisp. I like the inclusion of the bangs. I like the sword. And I really like being able to get this head in addition. So yeah, overall, this is a really, really solid entry in the Dragon Ball line. Again, there is the glaring concern with that arm, specifically that arm for me. I do find it frustrating. I don't like it. It shouldn't be happening. But at the end of the day, it's also not ruining this figure for me. I am happy to report that my figure doesn't have any leg, hip issues either. So that's also a positive. I know that was a concern, but it seems to be fine here. Otherwise, though, I think he looks absolutely fantastic. They absolutely nailed the faces. The hair looks tremendous. Colors are bright and vibrant. I love the way this jacket works to hide some of those joints. And he comes with a lot of really solid accessories. We've got good faces. The sword is nice. I'm happy with how it sits because, of course, like I said, I broke the scabbard on my last one. And overall, I think he just has a lot of cool stuff. I still would have liked an effect part, just like I say every time there isn't one. But this figure does come pretty loaded, and he has a lot of stuff. So that's going to do it for this look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Trunks, the boy from the future. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.